So, good morning. This is Coach Balaji from ChessKidsNation. We have Coach Jaker, and we have a new student today. His name is Ion. And Ion, you're going to introduce yourself to your team. You're going to tell your full name, the school you go to, the grade you study, and then what exactly you would like to learn this week out of this camp. Okay, Ion? Huh? Go ahead.
My name is Ione, and I'm from Shades Cahaba Elementary, which is in Birmingham, Alabama. And I'm studying in fifth grade, and I would like to learn strategies that can help me like be better at chess.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, so you'll all be muted, but you all can unmute yourself if you want to talk to Coach Jaker. And if Coach Jaker asks you a question, if you want to text him back, you can also chat in Zoom directly to him. Okay, I'm going to turn this over to Coach Jaker now.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Raghav and Aryaman, you completed your puzzle, right? You did your homework. I saw Raghav had shown it. Yeah. Aryaman, were you able to do it?
No, I didn't have time.
All right, no problem. All right. So I will check on it. All right. But as promised yesterday, we will start the class. Good. Good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Very good. All right. So I would want you to go around, go through it, keep playing it more times, make sure that you can do it without making a mistake. And Ayan, I would ask Balaji to send you that video to you so you can have a look at it, and maybe you can understand what went in the last class.
I did yesterday. I did send the link to everybody. Huh?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. If you have watched it, there was one, and there was an assignment sent after that.
Yeah.
Which is basically a position where it was slightly different from what we did, but it had the same pattern of finding a mate with mating with a bishop and knight, right? So a little harder one to start the whole camp with, but still I felt these are things which you don't usually learn in camps. You most times are not. It happens in a crucial game, and we have no idea what to do. Right? So today we're going to start with something different. We're going to start with openings and opening ideas. Right? Things to do in the opening, things you should not do. That's precisely how I will put it. Right? So there are certain things you can do in an opening. There are certain things you're not supposed to do in an opening. So the things you have to do are very simple. I've told it yesterday, but I will still repeat it today. And I will repeat every time I talk about opening. Is that the opening phase of the game is called a The opening phase of the game is called as.
Coach Jaker, you want to enable the coordinates?
Yeah, I will, sure. Thanks. Okay. So, I usually, when I take my camps and courses for kids who are about 1,000 or kids who are well versed with a lot of my camps, I usually do not have the coordinates. I would want you to know the squares. So my board is usually without it, but we would start with this, and maybe in a couple of camps you will understand and be able to visualize the whole board without looking at the coordinates. That's where we will move into at some point. Right? So yeah, right now we will have it. So the whole idea of the game board is this. The opening phase of the game is all played within these 4 squares. These are called the center. So E4, E4, E5, D5 are the squares you play for. The more you have control of these squares, the better it is for you.
One thing, sorry to cut you, Coach Jaker, what we can do is we can enable our first lessons in chess for our students. That way they'll be able to get familiar with the coordinates. Yeah. I can create an account for them and then send an email to their parents so the kids can do the first lessons in chess. Huh?
That'll be good. Absolutely, yeah. Very good. Yeah. So the whole point is this. So these are the four squares where the whole game, opening phase of the game revolves. So the first moves on game are usually either d4 or e4. So let's say e4. And black usually replies with a lot of moves, right? So one is e5, which leads again to quite a few openings. I will go through a few of them, all right? So you get an idea. So you always develop your knight on f3. The reason you develop your knight on f3 is you are attacking the pawn on e5, and this is the best way to do it because the three squares this knight can go are e2, f3, and h2. Right? The problem with moving to h3 is that the knight has no square after that because f4 is controlled by the pawn and g5 by the queen. So there is also a saying which says knight in the rim is dim. So never develop your knight from a corner of the board. All right. And most chess openings have a name, right? And any specific openings played by top grandmasters and top chess players usually have a name, not like something like h4 or b4 or whatever. Even that has a name, but not most of us know it. The most common openings which are played by every top grandmaster has a name. The names are usually of a person, name of a person, or it's named after a place, right? So that's basically the most common way opening is uh, the name of the opening is, right? So the best place to put your knight is f3 and not on e2 because you put a knight on e2, you're not only blocking your queen but also blocking your bishop. Plus your king is not in a good place, right? So general knight before the king is not a good way to develop, and we will see why, right? So the best place to do it is knight f3. So black replies with knight c6, and here white has three main options or four main openings. One is to develop, and when you develop your pieces, you always develop your minor pieces, which is your bishop and knight, before you develop your queens and the rooks. Right? So you don't put your big pieces out early because it might get trapped. So you always develop with your minor pieces, and that's precisely how you play a game. Right? So right here, you can play bishop c4, which leads to the Italian, right? Called the Gicopano, right? Or you go bishop b5. This takes you to an opening called Spanish or the right lopus, right? And there are a lot of variations each one of them, right? So, and then there is another one which is you play knight c3 here. This is called the three knights, and black replies with knight f6. This is called the four knights opening. This is also common. And then you have another one which is called d4. It's called the Scotch. Okay. So all these are common moves which happen on the board, and these are openings which are where you have e4, e5 as the first move for white and black. Correct. So this is about the most common moves. I will come back to this opening. What happens is that sometimes people play openings which are different, which is people want to put your pawn here, basically challenge the pawn on e4 with a direct attack. So this opening is usually had a name called the counter attack, center counter, okay, because you counter the pawn in the center. And over a period of time, the number of name changed. It's now called the Scandinavian. Okay, so but here people did not want to play this because after the capture, the queen had to come out early, which most of them did not like. So the top grandmasters thought a better way to do it is to either push the pawn to e6 or to c6 before you went to d5. Okay, understood so far? Yeah, good. All right. So we're going to look at a game and what can happen if you don't know the opening. All right. So go c6, the e4, c6, and white immediately takes control of the center. Right. Since there is no pawn here or here, I am able to push my pawn to d4 and say hey, I have these two squares under my control, this one also, and I'm challenging this. All right. So basically, moment I get a chance, I push my pawn forward. Say I want to control the center squares. Right. So black immediately pushes d5. The idea of c6 was to play d5. The reason why I used to play French for a long period of time, right? Which was instead of playing c6, I used to play e6 and then play d5. Okay, after d4, d5. That is basically I just put it on the board. For a long period of time, I used to play this opening where I used to play e4, e6, d4, d5. Right? The only problem with this is this bishop, it's called the French bishop, does not have a square to get in, and it takes quite a long time before this piece can actually get into play. And most times they're not, when it comes out, it gets exchanged. So this bishop was never in play for black. And that's the reason why most of them don't play. It's not that it's a bad opening, it's actually a very good opening. But you have a small issue with that opening where this bishop finds a little extra time to get into play. Right? I used to like playing this. Nowadays, most people don't want to play that, so they play c6 because now after d4, d5, this bishop has the whole diagonal. The bishop is live and kicking. All right. So what can white do here to defend the pawn on e4? Can somebody say? Has anybody played this opening on the white side or black side? Any one of you three? Ayan, have you seen this opening? You can unmute yourself or shake your head, either way. Has anybody seen?
I was playing a chess game and like they were doing like this diagonal shape with their pawn. So I think that was it.
So what do you play as white here?
I think it was like this when they were black and I was white.
So it's white's turn to play. What should white play? How should white defend the pawn on e4?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, who wants to go?
Play knight c3.
Play knight c3. Okay, good. Is there something else you can do?
Yeah.
What? Yes, Raghav?
That's a great move because even if you have like one support, you're going to be losing one. And if that is a very strong one, then you're losing some points when the other people lose like less points.
All right. So what do you think is a good move here?
Black has to move.
Aya, what do you think is a good move here?
Maybe you can move that bishop on c1 to f4.
All right, you're okay to giving the pawn on e4?
I'm just putting the bishop there because then you have the whole column that's guarded by the bishop.
Okay. So Raghav, what would you play?
I'm still thinking.
Still thinking. Okay, good.
You could also move the bishop to d3.
I'll do the white bishop to b5. I'm not b5. I meant knight to c3.
All right. So the three moves which are usually played here are, one is push the pawn to e5, which is called the advanced variation. The other is to capture the pawn on d5. This is called the exchange variation. And the third move is play knight c. So what do you think black will play here?
Maybe they would take the pawn on d5 and capture.
And what would white play?
The knight that
Yeah.
black.
Yeah, they'll play knight
All right.
at
Okay.
e4.
Okay. So knight f6 is what black played. All right. And what should white play here?
He should capture the other knight.
It will not capture the knight, but white will do is support this knight. All right. Not the best move on the board, but I want to play a trick on my opponent.
No, but
If I want to play a little trick on my opponent, I would do this.
no, but wouldn't it break the pawn structure? If you
What's-
take the knight, it'll break the pawn structure.
Yeah, but okay. So you capture. I capture with the e pawn. I will not capture with the g pawn, but I will capture with the e pawn. I will have a double pawn on the f file, but I'm still okay with it. I don't mind it. So, but the move white played was a tricky move, usually not played by top grandmasters. But when I'm playing against somebody who is slightly lower rated or doesn't know the opening, I can try this. Not a good move to make, to be very precise, because I'm blocking my bishop and my queen is not in a great square. But I want to just try something. So what do you think black can play?
He,
Um,
he, he can exchange the knight.
Okay, so you
Maybe
can
he
exchange.
can do maybe black can do bishop to g4.
Bishop to g4, is bishop to g4 a good move?
Yeah, because the queen can kill it because it has a support.
Very good. Ayan, is bishop g4 a good move? Would you play bishop g4 here?
no, because the queen can literally capture it.
No,
knight
Oh,
on
the knight is
f6.
backing it up. The knight is backing it up.
Then I agree. It's a good move.
I'm saying it's a bad move. You're losing a piece.
What?
Bishop g4, you lose a piece. Bishop g4 is a loose piece on the board.
no, the queen.
The idea of playing queen e2, there are two small traps on the board. One of them is bishop g4, because you lose a piece. Can you spot the loose piece on the board? I'll give you 5 minutes time. You can just write down the answer on chat to me. Only one move if you write enough where you lose a piece. You will lose the piece on the second move, but I want the first move. I want you to find the first move. I don't want you to put it, I want you to put it on chat.
so that you can
Take 5 minutes, take 5 minutes, think. I will not push you right now. Take 5 minutes, think, but make the move which wins a free piece on the board. All right? Follow me.
In white or black?
White to play after, okay, so the idea was bishop g4, right? So the idea was bishop g4. The bishop g4, I'm saying, is a bad move because you lose a piece. Can you find a trick by which you win a free piece? All right. These are small traps in openings which people generally fall. People who are at the beginning stage, who haven't seen these kinds of moves, generally fall. Queen e2, I would not advise you to play, but you want to have fun once in a while, it is okay if you know that your opponent is not too strong. Right? That's precisely what the whole thing is. The reason why I'm playing Queen e2 is because I'm expecting you to make two moves which are bad. But if somebody knows what to do, they will not do that. Okay. So yeah, I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to wait for you to find the answer. You just have to message me on the chat. Just one move which you play. If you found the first move, then I know that you have found the answer. Just one move which will force black to lose a piece for free. Ayan, you move, think of a better move because that move is not winning a piece. You make that move, white will lose a piece and not win a piece. Right? So think again. Your move, white will lose a piece but not win a piece. Think again. Ayan has got it right. So I'm waiting for Raghav and Aryaman.
Aryaman sent it to me.
Good. Okay. So
Aryaman, you can also send it to Coach Jaker as well. Huh?
Okay. I send it to Coach Jaker.
Thank you.
yeah, Raghav, you're the one. Your move. You wanted to go. Good. That's the point. Ah, okay. The point is this, right? This bishop is defended by the knight on f6, and your knight is attacking this knight. Right? So if you eliminate the if you destroy the defender, right? Sorry, if you destroy the defender, you always have the bishop without a support now, because when the knight captures the other knight on f6, it's with a check, and when the capture happens, bishop goes for free. Yeah, get it? And that's the reason why you don't play bishop g4 in this position. So what is the other move you can play? What is the other move you should not play? White is basically played queen d2, hoping black would play one of these two moves, right?
Knight takes on
And
e4.
knight takes on e4 is actually the best move possible for black, right? Okay. But the point is, black wants to defend the knight on f6. Now tell me, why is this move not a good move? You can just write the answer to me. Now tell me, why is this move not a good move? You can just message me the answer. Knight b d7 supporting the knight on f6 is a lethal blunder. Why? I have Aryaman who's given the answer. I'm waiting for Ayan and Raghav. No, Raghav, there's a better move than that. Right? The move you're all missing is knight d6. Now you see why that's a good move.
It's checkmate.
That's it. Yeah? Get it? All of you? So now you know why that's a bad move, right? All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the. I'll come back to this opening, but before that I will go to another opening. Right? So go here, d4. The other opening, which is the same, right? So knight f6, c4. The common openings here are to play either e6 or to play c6 or to play g6. All these are legal openings to make. You don't play d5 directly here. But all these are openings which would lead to some other things, right? So black plays e5. Do you know the name of this opening? Any one of you? No? Raghav, do you know this opening? No? Ayan?
Kingside opening.
No. Ayan, do you know the name of the opening?
Pawn opening.
Do you know the name of the opening, Ayan? Yes or no? Just shake your hand. Okay. This opening is called the Budapest Gambit. Have you heard of the city called Budapest? Nope. Nope. You know? Ayan?
So we are going to ask a geography question. Where is Budapest located?
You know?
If you don't know, we are not going to tell you. Tomorrow you are going to check and let us know.
Hungary.
Huh?
So you're very.
Hungary.
What did you have for breakfast?
Hungary.
What did you have for breakfast?
I had
You are not hungry.
I said hungry.
Yeah, it's called Hungary. It's called Hungary. All right. You know Budapest. There's a river which runs on the city. You have to know the name. So that's the next geography question. Don't ask your dad. You should tell me what river runs across Budapest. All right. Okay. There's a river which is named Danube. All right. Danube is a river which runs across Budapest. Right. So if you want to know more geography, go learn about Danube, one of the most unique river in the world. The only river in the world which passes through 5 capital cities of countries. Right? No other river passes through that. Neither the Amazon nor the Nile, the largest and the longest, pass through so many country capitals. But yes, Danube does. So that's your geography part amidst your chess class. Right? So this is called the Budapest Gambit. A gambit is an opening line where you give away a pawn for free to get an initiative. Right? So that's what black is trying to do. So he's giving a pawn on e5 free. So white captures. So where should the knight go? Knight goes to g4, attacking the pawn. White plays knight f3, defending the pawn. And then there is more attack. Right? White does not leave. White goes defending the pawn. Okay, so he's taken a pawn extra. He wants to make sure that he keeps a pawn. Here, and then you defend. There's a check and you defend, and then you move e7. White says, okay, so here white played a3, attacking the bishop, and black said, okay, I'll capture the pawn. Is that a good move? It's not a good move. You have to tell me what will white play. And if you think it's a good move, then you have to tell me what will white play and then what will black play. All right. So there are two parts of the question. One, if it's a good move or not. If it's not a good move, why it's not a good move. All right. And if you think that's a good move, then you'll have to say what will white play and what will black reply with. So once you have found both part of the answer, you can let me know. Until that, do not type in anything. But take your time, take 5 minutes, take 10 minutes. I want you to. Chess is a game where there is a lot of repetition of positions. A lot of positions which you see once can repeat again from a different angle, from different. You can look at it and you're able to visualize the same position. It just becomes easy. So I'll give you 5 minutes. I will wait for answers. Okay. Depend whiteness bishop for the night. Raghav, you'll have to tell me why it's a good move. Type it out. What will white play and what will black reply? Right? Okay. Ion, you haven't replied, right? Ion says, okay, Ion, I've seen, yeah, okay. So one of you said it's good move, the other said it depends. All right. So the whole point is, can white capture the bishop for free? When the white played a3 attacking the bishop, black moved his knight from g4 and captured a pawn on e5. And the question was whether it's a good move or bad move. So some of you said it depends, some of you said okay, and one of you said it's a good move. But the point is, there is a free piece on board. So what should black play? You can just type out the answer, that will be fine. If you want, I will flip the board. Right? Okay, so I get the answer, so I'm not doing anything. I'm just flipping the board for a minute for you to see a best move for black. Right? Just find the best move for black here. And if you can just put it on board, that would be nice. It's all about remembering positions, remembering patterns. Chess is only about remembering positions and remembering patterns. All right, okay. Ariman, okay, yeah, understood. Good, you got it right. Ariman got it right. So Raghav and Ayan. So somebody else is getting. Okay. Can you look for something better, Ayan? It's black turn to play. Is there a better move than what you said? It's all about using simple tactics to win free pieces on the board. Correct. The reason why I went from one opening to another was I wanted some similarity between the first position and this. To say that it can happen with any opening, it can happen with any color, but if you do not put your pieces on the right square, it can still happen. Yeah. If you do not put the pieces on the right square, it can still happen. So the last game we saw black playing knight d7, which was a bad move, and then you had white playing a move which ended in a checkmate. Same thing happens here. The move you're not looking at, or move you just, okay, somebody just answered. The knight is on e5 and not d5. You have to look at the squares properly. Yeah. Ion, you have to look at the squares properly. It is not in e5, but it is not in d5, but it's in e5. So it will not go to c3, but go to d3, and that's a checkmate. You can't capture the knight because you have a queen pinning the pawn, and the king is surrounded by its own pieces, and hence the game ends very quickly. Yeah, get it, everybody? All right. So we'll go back to Caracan and see what are the other troubles which can happen out of it. Okay. So e4, c6, d4, d5, knight c3, e into. So here, instead of playing knight f6, black plays knight b d7 first. You go bishop c4. Always develop your minor pieces first. Right? Knight f6. I'm not playing queen e2. But what I am doing? I'm playing knight g5. I don't want to give away the knight. So black plays e6. Now I'm playing queen e2. Now queen e2 is okay a move because I'm not blocking the bishop. The bishop is already out. And all I have to do is just get my knight out and castle and get my bishop out. I've done my development. Alright. So that's basically the idea. And what white did, he wanted to drive the knight out. Is h6 a good move? Is h6 the best move possible here? The reason why I am showing this is these are moves which have been played and which looks to be a very simple idea to drive the knight away. Right. So you're okay with stopping the castle and okay. Okay. Ayan, I'm waiting for your answer.
Coach, I couldn't hear the question properly.
I just asked you, is h6 a good move or not? If it is not a good move, then tell me what should white play. Yeah, so that's basically it. Yeah. Ayan, what's your move? You can tell the move. All right. So this is not a good move for the simple reason knight into f7. Now I am attacking both your queen and your rook. It's a fork. And it needs to be captured. You capture with the king. I would say you will lose the game in 3 moves. Can you find a forced mate in 3 for white? There are 3 consecutive checks. The game ends in a mate. Right? White will win with 3 consecutive checks. So I want you to write white's move. What would be black's reply? White's move. What would be black's reply? And what would white make as a move to give a checkmate? I want you to think 3 moves for white and 2 moves for black. All are forced and all white moves are checked. Take your time. There's no urgency. You can take your time and write the answer, but I want you to basically think and find the answer. Quite easy if you can see three good checks, right? So the last check is the most tricky one, but I'm not saying it's very hard. It's something which you can work around. Who's got it? Who has got the answer? Nobody. Think, think, think. I will wait. No urgency. I will wait for another 5 minutes. I'll give you 10 minutes. So you have to think. See three checks for white. And wherever black goes, there will be another check. And wherever black goes, there is a mate on the board. And all three moves are forced. All right? So take your time. Think. Chess is all about visualization and geometry. That's it. I will only say that. Okay? Keep thinking. I'm here. Yeah. Who's got it? Nobody? So, okay. I will unmute all of you. Okay. Tell me what's the first move. Let's go move by move.
E6.
Queen e6. Okay. Raghav, what's the first move? Ayan, what is your first move?
You move the queen, the white queen to h5.
Queen to h5. Okay. Raghav, what's your first move?
My first move was knight to f3, but it didn't work actually.
I said 3 checks, right? Did you listen to me? I said 3 checks and there is a mate on the board. Knight f3 is not a check, correct?
Yeah.
So I wanted you to look for 3 checks which will end in a mate. So there will be one move which is a check. White king moves, black king moves somewhere, and you give another check. The black king moves somewhere, and then you give another check. It ends in a mate.
Bishop to e
6. Bishop to e6. Is that the move?
yeah.
So the first move you have to do is go queen takes e6. So where can the black king go?
G6.
G6.
Only move is g6. Can you find a mate in 2 now?
Yeah.
Okay, write down the answer. Write down the answer. I don't want you to say anything. I want you to write one move for white, and where will the black king go, and another move for white, which will end in a mate. Okay, so I want all 3 moves: 2 for white, 1 for black. Just write it down and send it to me on chat. I'll give you 5 minutes. I want you to think. Right? That's as simple as that. If you think over it, you will get the answer. I want both moves. So I want one move for white. What will black reply? Black has only one move after that. And then what is the white's move, which will end in a mate? Right? So I don't want one move, but I want 2 moves for white, 1 move for black. Yeah? Just like you write a score sheet. I want to mute all of you.
I have sent my answer.
I also have sent my answer.
I sent my answer.
But that's not a mate, Ion. Aryaman, queen e2 is not mate. If you go queen e2, I can go king h4. Alright. Ion, your move is again. F3 or F5 will still not mate because I can move my pawn to g6 to defend. Yeah, Ion, that's still not working. All right, so bishop d3 is the move. The king can't, there's no difference basically, right? So this will go, I will still capture it. You can't do that because,
I wrote that.
yeah, bishop d3 is right. The king is forced to go here, there's no other move. And there are a lot of checks here, but there's only one move which is a mate. There are lots of moves here, but there's only one move which is a mate.
Is it queen f5?
Queen f5 is not mate because I can play g5. Pawn to g5.
Is it queen h3?
Is queen h3 a mate? You're asking me or telling me?
Asking.
I want you to tell me.
Mm.
You can look at it, you know what a mate is. You can visualize and let me know if queen h3 is actually a mate or not.
It is, I think.
That's right. It's always good to be
It's
a
a mate.
statement.
It's mate.
That's a mate. So sometimes there are lots of checks, but there's only one which is actually the one which you want. You can just sit down and think for a minute. You will be able to find it. Yeah? This is what happens. If you don't know the opening, you will get into trouble. And that's the reason why you need to prepare opening lines and know them. You don't have to memorize everything, but you will have to learn them as you go along. But make sure that you do not leave your piece for free. That's what happens, right? I will go to the next one. I will still stick to the Caracan, right? And the same variation. I go knight e4. Knight into f6. This is the most common move, the third common move on the board, right? So here, then bishop c4. So what should black play here? Can you just, somebody's written. Okay. Okay. Okay, so most of you have written except our Ion. Ion, you have to guess a move, right? You have to reply. That's the only way I will know what you're thinking. If you're going to keep quiet, I'll have no idea what you're thinking. I will have no idea of knowing where you're going wrong or what's the kind of thinking you have, which will be able to help me out to know what you're thinking, right? It doesn't matter whether it is right or wrong, right? I'm not looking at who's right, who's not right. I'm looking at whether you're able to visualize the whole aspect. That's precisely what I'm looking at. Good. That's nice. Okay, so everybody's got a very similar move. So the move black played here was queen e7. Not a good move. I wouldn't say it's a bad move, but there are better moves than that. Now you have to tell me how many different ways you can defend the check. All right. There are many ways to defend the check. And which is the only right way to defend it? First, you have to tell me how many different ways you can defend the check. All right. You have to write a number to it, next to it. And after that, you will have to write down and tell me what is the only move on the board which does not lose a piece for white. Okay, so white can defend this check on many ways. Most ways it will either lose a piece or get into a bad position. There's only one move which does not do it. Right? So I want you to find out what is the only way You either not get into a bad position or lose a piece. First, you have to tell me how many different ways you can defend the check. Number. Count every way you can defend it, and then you have to write down the number. Yeah. Take your time, think. There's no urgency. You can take your time. Wait.
My answer.
Okay, so I see one saying 5, one saying 4, 5. Okay. Ion, I want an answer from you. You're not typing in an answer. Okay, I saw 5 from Ion, 5 from Aryaman, and Raghav, how many? You can just count a way to defend a check, right? You know how to defend a check. Ion, I want you to tell me which is the best book. Raghav, can you just tell me how many ways you can defend a check, please? It's an easy one. Why is it taking so long? You know how to defend a check, correct?
Yeah.
Tell me how many different ways you can do it.
Maybe knight to e2 or bishop to e2.
All right. So there are, okay, so I'll tell you what are the different ways to defend. One is to put your bishop on e3. Two is to put your knight. Three is to put your bishop here. Four is to put your bishop here. Five is to move your king here. 6 is to move your king here. And 7 is to put your queen here. Correct? So bishop on e2, bishop on e6, queen on e2, knight on e2, bishop on e3. Right? 6 of them are basically not good moves. 5 of them are surely not good moves. Right? Only one good move on the board to defend the whole check, where you will not lose a piece. In most other cases, you tend to lose a piece. Or you get into a bad position because of many things. Basically, which move is that which you should play here as white to make sure you don't lose a piece. There is a small trick by which black would win a piece if white is not careful. These are small traps which happens with the opening. Somebody's given me an answer. Okay. That's a good try, yes. Raghav has given me an answer. Ion, I want an answer.
Coach, I sent an answer.
When the bishop on moves to c3. Okay, all right, okay. So bishop e3 is bad. Why is it bad?
Because when queen checks on b4, then you can take bishop.
That's the reason why bishop e3 is bad. And for the same reason, knight e2 is also bad. All right. You can't move the king because you can't castle after that. Bishop e6 obviously is bad because you can just capture that free piece. Bishop e2 is also not a great move because I can then pin your bishop. And yeah, not that it is. So the ideally best move is to go queen e2 because now you can't move your queen. All right. So you need to exchange the queens. I develop a knight with a tempo. And now white's pieces are much fast developed than the black pieces. And black has a double pawn on the f5. Right? So technically, this is better for white. Everybody gets it? Yeah? Sure? Any doubts? No, right? Cool. Go to the next one. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. I go d4. This opening is called, basically, this opening is called the Scotch. All right. Knight f6, castle, bishop c5. I play e5. Black would play d5. All right. So basically, captures. So what should white play here? Basically, okay. I have a move from Raghav. Okay. Ayan, can I have a move? Okay, so I have three different moves, right? One of you saying queen e2 check, the other is saying to capture the pawn on g7, and the last one I saw was rook e1. And what is the right answer? Rook e1, bishop e6, now what should white play? Good, I get two answers. Good. That's good. I got a move from Aryaman. Right. That's good. That's a nice idea. Okay, so there are a lot of possibilities here, right? Okay. Okay, so let's say I go knight g5. Okay. What do you think black would play? What takes what? All right. Okay. 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 Yeah. Okay. So I have two moves here. Black should move the bishop to f4. How can the bishop go to f4? b4, you mean? You got to be clear with your squares, Ion. b4 will not work, right? For the simple reason, I will capture your rook on bishop on e6 with my rook, followed by capturing with the knight. All right. Okay. So the move. All right. So let me go with one after the other. If pawn captures, Then the knight would capture, attacking the queen and the bishop. And when the pawn captures, I go queen h5. And now what? Somebody written the answer? Yeah, I see two of you. Raghav, you have to be very clear with your moves. Okay. All right. So I see move from Raghav. I see move from Aryaman, and I'm waiting for a dear friend. Give you a minute. You can type it out. It's actually not so complicated like you think it is, but yeah, there's a much easier move on the board. You move your knight to c3, I will capture it. Okay, the move is simple. You get another piece free on the board. Yeah? Get it? The king in the middle, and you will win the game from here, right? Queen f5 is actually a good move to make, but black can defend it by playing either queen d5 or queen d6 or something, defending the mate, or playing knight e5 is also a move which you can make. So you basically looking at what you need to do in an opening and where you have a chance to win free pieces. Yeah? Okay. So before we end today's session, I want to solve yesterday's homework. Right? You will keep that position and then solve it. Somebody's already written an answer which I will have to check. This was a position, white to play and win. So what was your answer, Raghav? Can you just read it out loud?
Bishop to h3 first, and then knight to f1, and then king to g3, and then knight to h2, and
What would black play for all of this?
okay, so bishop to h3.
Bishop to h3. And what if the king goes here?
The king goes to g1.
King goes to h2.
Oh, h2 goes to h2.
Okay. So the point is this, right? So you need to basically have an understanding. Right? All you have to do is if you can just turn the board around and look at it, you will know what to do. You need to first get your king onto a key square, which is either g3 or f2. I'm taking it to f2, which means the king has only one square to go, which is h2. And now I go knight f1, giving a check. Your king can't go to any of these squares, has to go here. That's okay. It's very simple. It's the same pattern of mate that you did when you have pushed the king from a8, h8 to a8. The only difference here is the king is actually coming top to bottom, not going right to left. Right? So it's the same pattern, but if you have done all other sides, this could have been easy. But it's good that you tried something. I'm okay with it, right? So I'm not saying what you did is wrong, but bishop h3, black's best move would be to move his king there. Okay, so let's see what you did. You said knight f1, and my king goes here. Now, what did you play? Raghav, can you just repeat after king h1 what?
King h1.
Knight f1, king h1, and then
Bishop to g2.
bishop to g2 is not checkmate because I have g1 this way.
Yeah. And then king to g1.
King to
G1. A knight to f3.
knight can't go to f3. Okay, knight from f1 go to f3. See, your king is actually in a wrong square. That's the key point. Right? You always have to remember when you're mating with bishop and knight, your king needs to be on a knight checking distance from the corner, which is either in g2 or in f2, g3 or f2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I'll
Okay,
do
you
g3. I'll do g3.
knight g3 is still not a mate. I will go here. All right. So yeah, your knight is not in the right square. All right. Okay. So it's still fine. I'm okay with it. I want you to keep practicing it more and more. Before the end of the camp, if you can still do it, that'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Balaji, you there?
Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. So same thing. Each one of you are going to be telling us one thing what you learned and how you are going to be using that in the tournament. Also, while you are all in the camp, I did just send to all your parents. We are going to have our tournament on Friday at 7:30 Central Time, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. So I want all of you to play in the tournament. So the reason is then we will exactly know whatever concepts you are learning in the camp, how you are able to apply in the tournament. Okay, don't worry about the result of the tournament. But even if you make one move correctly based on this camp, I think that is something what you all should be proud of. Okay, so we are going to start with Raghav. Raghav, tell something what you learned today and how are you planning to apply in your games.
I learned today that like
What is the topic? What is the topic we learned in the camp today?
um
Very first thing.
Hmm?
Very first thing. What did we learn today?
I learned
It starts with O.
openings.
Exactly. Because you have to be very strong in your opening, and you should also know what are all the sequence of moves what
And
you
you
need to play in the opening. That way you don't get into a opening trap.
and also you shouldn't be, and you also have to control the center.
That's right. That's right. Very good. Ayon?
I learned that you have to control the center. I learned how to castle. I learned what variations and openings are. And you have to be like careful about what you do in the
That's
game.
right. Okay. Aryaman?
I learned how to trap people who don't know your opening,
Mm-hmm.
like on the f6 to get a checkmate or
Mhm.
f3. And then I also learned how to what are wrong moves for openings and how that costs you a lot of pieces.
That's right. That's right. Very, very good. So, like yesterday, we'll be sending this recording sometime today, along with today's assignment. Please try to do as much as you can. It's always going to help you out. And at the end of the camp, you'll all be given access to our online chess book. You'll be able to do at home, and we'll also be able to, your parents also will be able to see your progress, what you're doing online. Okay.
I'm already reading chess books.
Very good. You should every day because now you have got plenty of time apart from your schoolwork. You all have some time, so make use of this time. Once we get back to our regular schedule, things may not be as free as now. Okay, so make use of this time, and we want our idea is all of you should be not only good chess players, but also should be great thinkers because chess stimulates your thinking. Okay, with that, we are going to be closing for today, and then we are going to have our session tomorrow, same time, 9 a.m. Central Time. Okay, guys? Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you a lot.
Bye.
Thank you.